Constellation, Pasha Pavo. So I really enjoy the experiences that the upper echelon, the most high, the universe, whatever you want to call them, sends my way. It's very entertaining to me, and I appreciate it. And today, I thought of you all in the constellation. I thought, how many of the constellation experience this type of fraudery in 2025? And constellation, will we allow it to continue into 2026? When you're true, it's already understood. What's interesting is when people can't be true and they must manufacture presentments and outcomes. Everybody that knows me knows it's always the perfect day. And everybody that knows me, as far as being shared some sort of time connected on some sort of digital world of social media, they know they're going to get a message from me at some point in the connection. Because if you're not connected, one, the problem is the opportunity for us is that we need to understand what words are. So today, imagine this. You're a business owner, you're networking, you're a personal something, and you're online on a $5 billion platform developed for you to communicate with people who don't understand what communication means. I don't normally engage with the ticker tape during the videos. I normally leave that for your own entertainment and amusement. There's one on here that really makes it make sense for a lot of you people, right? And it's coming up. I think it's like 79%. Hold on. Oh, 78% of LinkedIn users define spam as any message from someone they don't know. Now, I'm not the brightest person in the world. I'm really a nobody. I appreciate being a nobody because when you're part of the omnipresence, your existence is virtually unclear. Actually, it's very clear. So clear they don't even know it's there. But networking, the purpose of is to know people you didn't know before. So people spend I'm on a free platform, the free version. But could you imagine spending $1,000 or $2,000 a year on a platform to network and not know that the simplest form of networking is to know people you didn't know and then be part of the 78% on LinkedIn defining spam as any message that they got from someone they don't know? And you wonder why the United States is suffering from innovation stagnation. Now, We need to address this. I'm People be having they field day, and I'd be like, thank you for the exercise, because I'm in branding and marketing. Of course, I'm studying you as a case study right now. One, I got to know who you are. That's really what I reach out for. What I didn't like about, I ain't even gonna say what I didn't like about it. What was interesting about today's case study is it's not anything that went through it. You guys know I'm I'm fond of the truth. And when it actually was like the way it went down, it's funny because when you design something and you see how it manifests in other people, it's a great opportunity to see how your designs affect people real time. Okay? That doesn't mean that everybody's reaction is going to be your initial thought that it would be. I actually like when it's genuine, right? And something's said or expressed, and I get to go back and be like, yeah, I put this in here to do that, and this, okay, this is how it manifests in this individual, and then I can actually study that. So genuine conversations, whether they feel good or feel bad, are great tools to explore how your work is being received mentally. In big business, each one person represents 60,000 people. So by your interaction with one person, you can gauge a comprehension of at least 60,000 people they represent. What was what was different about this? Actually, I can't even say different, because a lot of people probably do this, right? But this may have been the first time they sent it to me, like, and showed me they did this, right? So what happened was, and we'll go through this conversation because it's, I'm normally really serious in my messaging that I present, but there's a great bit of humor in what I do. I'm a Virgo. I mean, I'm not gonna roll around on the floor, and but this one, the humor level of it is really, you you're gonna appreciate this coming from me today. So the end result is on the screen from the DM police agent Amber Smith, right? Straight from the Matrix, and we'll call her Officer Keystrokes. Okay, so the end result, see, and this is why perception, is super critical, because if you didn't know any better, you would never know the truth, right? So how many of you in the Constellation has wound up being on a poster like this somewhere on the net? If so, fuck yeah, because you're like pushing your shit, and if you reach 1 million people, it's gonna be one person there that feels like Amber, Officer Keystrokes. All right. So let's explore this though, because what she did is why separates the United States from the American mentality, definitely, right? So this end result says petty insult after condescending dig. Bro, that's counterproductive for your entire reason of outreach. And if you read that, it looks like I sent something, and it looks like she said not interested, thanks, which she did. And then me, I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh, cool. But what are you not interested in? Would be my first question as a top 2% intellectual weirdo, right? I'm like, well, which part aren't you interested in? Are you not interested in that I sent you a link to my page, or what was in the link, or the fact that I reached out to it's an infinity of what the fuck are you talking about here, right? Because you Agent Keystrokes wasn't clear. Now, this is where my Virgo humor and curiosity in other human beings kick in. I'm really not trying to sell anything in this situation, right? I'm really trying to know who's the people that say that they're connected to me. And I do this to everybody. You get a message from me as soon as you click connect, because what many people don't realize the word connect means that are on LinkedIn is it actually means join together. All right. And this is the problem with a lot of society, which is why we lack national anything right now. Even your national football league is falling apart, right? So the point of the matter is, if you're not going to communicate clearly, right, then you're leaving a lot for interpretation. Now, people who are used to wanting followers don't understand how to communicate with a leader, okay? Because a leader doesn't want unclear shit, right? The reason why withholding information is part of a toxic workplace is because it's trauma. But Agent Keystrokes, Officer Keystrokes, I'm sure she wasn't aware. She didn't put in the study. She didn't put in the hours to understand that withholding information is a form of trauma, which would spur any natural human being to say, tell me more. This is such a compelling story. You're not interested. In what? Why? How do we improve? Comma, 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 comma. So, my rebuttal to her contest at this point, because don't say not interested, thanks. You know what I mean? That's cool. I mean, I'm not telling you what to say, but I think if I had 1 gram of power left, powers and energy, I think we should spend, if well, let me not say me, if a person had 1 gram of 1 input of energy output left in life, why not share what you are interested in instead of what you aren't? Why do people pray for what they don't want? Right? Because you could have just told me, there's a message prior where I'm like, I'm open to learn more about people. Everybody that's got a message from me on Facebook and LinkedIn for the last 4 years all can tell you the same story. So, but the way she did this, you wouldn't. That's why I was like, oh, this is interesting, and people do this, but this is interesting. Watch. So, my humor and discovery mode says, oh, okay, you're not interested because America's the stars and stripes, right? This is the power of branding, right? When you test your branding on real people, is it compelling? Does it move them? It doesn't say, does it guarantee everybody will like it? How does it move the people? What happens when you deploy this? What happens when you rationalize that? Agent Keystrokes. But you don't know that at this moment because of your arrogance. But it's funny because this represents 60,000 people. Now watch this. So my humorous self, because I'm enjoying myself, I'm having a great day. We just dropped the new song, my sound bites. You know, we got the codex out, novel codex out, just released late of October. And I'm in the zone. I'm like, this was a great post. I should share it with people who say that they're connected with me. And I'm like, send. That's what Pasha do. I send you a message. Especially in the beginning when I'm trying to get to know you, because you said we're connected. You said that, right? That means the word connected, the etymology of the word connect means join together. So the part that these people are failing to realize in reality is that the wise people are reaching out to see, because there's an infinity of everything, an infinity. So it's not that, chances are, it's not that agent officer Keystrokes is not interested is that she don't know enough about it to know which part she probably is truly interested in. But that's fear, and people react differently to fear. So we can't blame Amber because she's only reached this level of performance. All right. So the thing is, I responded in good humor. I'm having a great day. I'm like, cool. Somebody to talk to in a moment. Take a mental break. Let me do that for a moment. Okay. I put, well, because we're the constant. This is the constellation, people. We're the sky. We're the sky. We're the stars. And the American flag is stars and stripes. The stripes is the ground. And what's going on here is you're either with the constellation, the stars, or you're the ground. That's the American flag, stars and stripes. You're either a constellation or you're ground. Which one are you, Officer Smith? So my response is only the underqualified. Anybody knows anything knows it's the play on the ground being under the sky. Duh. But I'm having fun. are uninterested, because interested means you're connected. So I, in good humor but in all truth, because people don't know what words mean, they only know, some people don't know what words mean, as in the case of Officer Keystrokes. Only the underqualified are uninterested. And then to me, that's closure, right? I'm doing a little marketing study, little bang, bang, bang. Let's might work on something later on, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I'm like, cool, because I don't need you to like me. Okay, I didn't know you didn't. It's the first time, you responded, but I'm gonna show you what she did though. And then I appreciate you sharing your perspective. At this point in time, I'm done. I get conversations like this 4 out of every 100, right? No big deal. There's going to be 90 people that don't respond, 4 people that do something like this, 1 person that hits you up like 6 months later, like they just got the motherfucker. And then I'm looking for the 2%. I'm 34 1 school. I represent the top 2% in the nation. I'm used to the way the 98% of the people move. See, Officer Keystrokes thought she was original. But what she did was this, though. Let me show you what she did. Because this looks like, like she said, it looks like she taking a good shot, right? But here's what happened. This is the second picture, because she sent me a little message in the inbox. Yeah, that's on Instagram. Like, I'm following her on Instagram for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe that's where her people are. I don't know, because Instagram is, maybe she's in her 30s. I don't know, right? Because LinkedIn, is not Instagram, right? But okay, so the people are totally different. Anybody knows anything about platforms and marketing knows that. But the interesting thing that was done was this, right? Because that was the second image. The first image was this. This is how she broke the story, right? On her Instagram page. This is when you know you made it, people. Like, it's not when your bank account says quadrillion dollars. It's when people start to splice and see. And it's so great because the new song Sound Bites is out. Check it out. My Sound Bites. So when people want to cut up stuff to make a story so that they can play the victim and put your name all on it. Now, the same energy it took for her to craft this lie, right? Because here's why it's a lie, and I'm not being harsh. I'm being truthful. This one says when a LinkedIn solicitor, right? I couldn't just be Pasha. I'm a solicitor now. A LinkedIn solicitor gets their feelings hurt after you decline their pitch. Now, back in February, See, it even says there on her screenshot. This is her screenshot that she said, right? It's not me. It's her screenshot. Because everybody knows when I reach out to you on LinkedIn or Facebook, I normally follow that with a message once you accept it. So Officer KeyStrokes, you're not telling people anything they don't know, but you're showing why I work so hard in the beginning to really put people through a test, to see the character and the integrity of the person I'm accepting into the vicinity of my constellation to protect all. Because see, you did this, and this part of the conversation was something that I sent when you first accepted the request or whatever. And I was telling you about who I am and say, like I say to everybody else, let's calendar a meeting so we can learn more about each other. But you felt original. That's why you posted like this. When a LinkedIn solicitor gets their feelings hurt after you decline their pitch. But this is from February 13th. Officer, see, I won 3 out of my own court cases myself. There's a whole 6 years of YouTube where everybody already know about me. They know everything about me. I'm crazy. Look, call me crazy. That's what 98% of the population do when you're top 2%. Okay? So this is from February 13th, right? Now, that's how you open your Exhibit A. Officer Smith, Agent Smith of the Matrix, DM Police, badge number, Officer KeyStrokes. But everybody knows this is the same message at the top there that I sent about 400 other people earlier today, November 1st. See, you took a part of the conversation from a year ago almost, when you first said you was connecting with me. And everybody else in the whole world knows the message they get. It's slightly different for everybody. When they connect with me on social media, you ask any of the 4,000 that I deleted in the last 5 years. They got the same message too. But you took that part from February in your screenshot, and it's captured on your own image, February 13th. And then you combined it with a conversation today, November 1st, to make your story and package it on Instagram as the reality of Global Pasha Pabro is crushed because Officer KeyStrokes of LinkedIn DM Police Patrol said not interested, thanks, as one of the 400 messages reply that he sent today. Okay, so now that we got that part, that's the part that got me. Like, don't be fake about it. I actually wound up telling him later on, like, this is so much fun. Like, I'm having like, but wait till you see this, yo. This is like, wait till you see this. This is crazy. And then the fact is, she did this after everything you can already see it. It's just like, wow, there's people like this. Like, this made me think Amber Rose bust the windows out of his car. Like, I'm really like, at this point, I'm like, yo, she's got to be sick. Look, let's look at this right here. Here's the video. See, because she took her little screenshots, but I got video. You know what I mean? Like, so this is the actual shot, right? that I sent everybody. There's not even a comment in it. It's just a link to the post from earlier. Like there's not even any verbiage. So when I get a reply to this saying not interested, that's part of what my confusion is. Just being an intellectual and wanting to perfect everything as a Virgo. I'm like, which part aren't you interested in? I didn't even say nothing to you, but are you talking about the post? Are you know, so that's me naturally thinking. But here we go. Let's see. So this is all right. So I said that. I said the underqualified, and I'm sharing this because I know you've all experienced something like this. Something like this. And it's just like, wow, it's 2026 almost, people. And you're still remember when they told everybody to wear a mask 3,000 miles away? And everybody was like, oh my God, we should do it because some message went out that said, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. It's Friday night, right? This is like the same thing. Like 78%, what they say, 78% of the people on LinkedIn define spam as a message from somebody they don't know. Like, dumbass motherfucker, right? But here's the thing. So I said only the underqualified are uninterested. I appreciate you sharing your perspective. I'm actually kind of playful. Like, I just like words, you know what I mean? So I got meaning back there on the table. I got a bunch of meanings. Like, I don't have to guess anymore in life, right? like, right? So she replies, funny, sure thing. Please refrain from contacting me in the future. Okay. Heard that before, right? So I'm like, sure, since the inbox is the limitation of controlling your life, enjoy. Like I was done in the beginning and I'm done this time. But this is quite entertaining. So you get the laugh. Ha 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 ha, right? All right. So this is incredibly, or she said, ha 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 ha. It's incredibly unprofessional to be insulting those who aren't interested in your solicitations. So good luck. You're clearly doing so well, right? And I understand tone's not in text messages, which I say later on. But I'm just being theatrical for sharing it with you. It's all here. And don't worry, it's not like a bunch of reading because it's gonna be short and then you're gonna laugh your ass off with me because like WTF moment approaching. Stay tuned. So so right, I'm like, you know what? You're right, because see, I don't have no problem with the truth, right? Like the Most High and the world and life has prepared me to be okay with the truth. So I say you're right. I am unprofessional. Because the etymology of the word professional is actually, for those who didn't know, one who took a vow to enter a religious order, which I clearly skipped that day of training. And I'm reading this, but I'm telling you guys it's at the same time. You know, I've done several posts on that on all social media platforms. I've done videos about that on my YouTube. So anybody that's been paying any attention knows part of what my brand stands for is the success of the unprofessional, the growth and empowerment of the true, like not having to fit into some box of fakeness to be accepted by people who are not going to reach out to you until they need something else again. You're right. I did not enter a vow to enter that religious order. I am unprofessional. I am genuine. And that reply I gave you in the inbox was genuinely funny to me. Because I thought we could interact and be human together. But every time I try to be human with the recent humanity, I feel more and more computer. I'm the computer without the emotion, and they just start to look like the AI program. So as I said here to her, I provided the infinity of truth in response, and it offended your emotional attachment to the belief in variables subtotality, because you only see a part of the equation. You were offended when I gave you the infinity of truth because you couldn't see beyond the horizon, like the constellation from the ground. You couldn't believe what lies beyond your perspective. So instead of take it as a learning opportunity, you made the choice to be offended by it. See, this whole time this is character traits. This isn't spam. You're under investigation. I said, I continue. Let's smooth up this a little bit. I was okay with the truth that you were not interested in me sharing my posts with you. It was your request not to contact anymore. The word connection, because this is all education I'm giving her now. This is an opportunity. She doesn't know she created a tort claim, and I'm giving her the opportunity to cure. The word connection means join together, which is why people on LinkedIn click the connect button, right? So to reduce the temptation of being the light that I am when it hurts your eyes, I have unfollowed you and removed the connect icon, as it must have been there in a display of error. Like I'm cool with this. I'm having fun. This is a ball, right? I didn't talk to nobody in the last 40 minutes before this. It was a refreshing mental stimuli. So that's how you feel. Cool. Look, unfollow, unconnect. Boom, I'm good. Moving on with my day for the fourth time already. At the fork in the road of sharing what you are not interested in or add the value of what you are interested in, I accept for value. We share different frequencies with the spectrum of efficiency. As mentioned earlier, you wanted to tell me about what you don't like when you had the opportunity to tell me about what you do. Enjoy, Amber. At this point in time, she's not become Agent Smith yet. I appreciate the exercise. And I close with top 2% in the nation. I'm not professional, because this shows you, if you didn't already know, like, I'm actually using words, not feelings. So, what happens when you try to communicate by using words with people who communicate with feelings? They respond like this. They say, wow, you really are super clueless, aren't you? Excuse me. Back to character. Bless your heart. Is that what makes you feel better about yourself? Ooh, geez. Like, Amber's pretty good with her gaslighting skill, but I studied gaslighting, so watch this. I just be true. My response to that is no. Actually, I did it not to cause you any more pain. Which is true. I mean, if you respond to my shit and tell me it's hurting your fucking feelings, then I don't want to hurt you. Like, it's not why I sent it. I thought you would either read it, find any of the probably dozen points of super special nerd information that was contained in there to be exciting to you, or for you to just like save it for a better time in your mind, or just disregard it like people do. Whatever. In this case, you replied. And you replied that You didn't want it anymore. You didn't want me because it's a part of me, Amber. And if you don't want my messages, then you don't want me. I'm serious though. Like, I'm not gonna like shut off who I am because you want to pretend to be connected. If you gonna be connected, if you on my list of this is who connected with Pasha, I'm not looking for nobody not to send shit to. Everybody on that list should be down with getting the message from Pasha, and they should be fucking replying or sharing or doing some shit. There need to be some action. That shit was not a deal. It was an executive order. But I'm cool with the people who aren't on the constellation because you either stars or you ground. Like if you on ground level, I get it. There's nothing wrong. What would the sky be without the ground? Right? So I was seriously said no. Actually, I did it not to cause you any more pain. Like, is she gonna respond? Talking about thanks, you've clearly taught me that spamming people and then acting petty and unprofessional and insulting when they actually respond but aren't interested is exactly the best model to replicate. You're right. So this is fucking great marketing, is what it is, because you felt compelled to respond. Because you're curious. But you don't want to admit that you're curious. So your fear makes you want to run. Right? So anyway, I put here's the truth, right? One can only see oneself in others. Farewell. Like I don't gave you an opportunity to close this shit like 6 times. But at the same time, like it's entertaining when you say these weird ass shits, and I'm just curious if I respond with the truth, how that's going to affect you and what you're going to do next. Like you're a case study at this point. Like it's not a bad thing. I'm learning about people. I'm okay with taking time to learn about others because everything I do is built around how others are affected by any and everything. So I'm always studying that. When here, let me get big on the screen. I'll say this though. Serious moment, serious interlude here. What I found when you hear me say I got a 34 official 34 one of the scores, top 2% in the nation. It's not me bragging about being smart. You've heard this a couple times if you've been following me. It's really me expressing the prison that it traps you in when you're surrounded by 98% of the population who's not going to get you naturally. That wouldn't be the issue. The issue is you can't trust them to realize the value in working to close the gap, meet you halfway, ask whatever, right? So that means I've become habitual in just deep diving, studying everybody 100% as if they're not going to tell me anything that I need to know. Macro and micro, people have left my circle when I expressing that they felt like it was an experiment. And I'm like, what relationship isn't an experiment? I can't help that I ace chemistry. Like ChemCom in the community was my shit, man. All right, now back to this shit, right? Hold on. So, but yeah, it's a prison, and because of that, my relief is to just study everybody, because chances are they're going to assume who you are. See, they're going to project who they believe you to be based on the limitations of their belief systems. They're going to project onto you in most cases. It's very rare that you meet somebody who actually is interested in getting to know you. I'm gonna build a profile on you. Like, we talk. Okay, Agent Smith. Okay, this boom. Even in here, I pulled at some point in here. I pulled the fucking name to see who I was talking to. On what the energy embedded into the name means. Like, this is well, I'm cool with people leaving because it only means that we're not in the same frequency. I will never hold you. I will learn about you. I'll never hold you. Right? And at this point, going into 2026, it shouldn't be nobody on LinkedIn talking about, or any other platform talking about, they're not on there to try and eventually monetize in some way, shape, or form. You're posting a post for exposure. That's called advertising and marketing. It's just that you're not really good at it. So what you do is you try to be accepted, most people. So you follow trends and do what everybody says you should and shouldn't do on LinkedIn or these platforms, which is why you get spam police like Officer KeyStrokes patrolling your DM when you're having a great fucking day. And then they get mad because they become your entertainment for the evening. Like, who needs Fire Stick when you got DMs? Right? So I'm a riot, and then I respond that, well, you only see oneself in others. And we're like, let me see here. So LOL. Again, the farewell is there. I might have spelled it wrong. Maybe it wasn't clearly communicated, right? Excuse me one second. So, LOL, I was saying, she says, you refer to self-text results and bragging about them to people that DC and I guess that's don't care. Let me know what that is in the chat, y'all. Is that don't care? And have asked to leave them alone is what makes you feel better about yourself. You could have just stopped spamming me when I didn't respond initially, or been thankful when I respectfully did respond and actually paid attention to your outreach, or been respectful and professional instead of disrespectful and unprofessional. She's definitely clearly a communicative excellence award winner. Or stop contacting me when I respectfully asked you to do that exactly. So let me get this clear, LinkedIn advocates of members of the DM police department. You expect for you to say something and the world to just bow? Like, because you said something, like I wasn't even supposed to just say, oh, okay. Y'all saw what I said. I'm like, cool, that's cool. Here's a little from marketing and branding, and then closure. Goodbye. Where was all this at that she's talking about, right? All right. So and why I'm laughing is because it didn't make sense till I pulled the statistics that I did for the ticker tape below, and it was like 78% of LinkedIn people call spamming anytime they get a message from people they don't know on the net. So spam from is any message you get from people you don't know on a platform designed to network, which network means you were supposed to get to know people you didn't know. That is your 2025 leadership, people. You understand why Pasha's branding America to replace the United States as an alternative? No, we're not opposed to the United States. We're just competing for market share. And that's you. Because you don't feel right in the system, because the system's designed for people like Agent Smith here, who don't know that they don't make sense, who don't know that they don't know what the words mean, who can't talk because they too busy wanting to feel something that ain't even there. All right, we almost threw the whole text. The rest of it is wait till you see this. Oh, I want to know who else has had this happen to him. All right. So you could have just stopped, you could have done that. You could have done. I could have done all these things. She didn't have. She couldn't have done nothing different, right? all of those would have been something I blacked out when I took the screenshot, not purposely, and not any of those methods you chose. And tis, such a blatant display of fragility, weak male ego. And here goes the other gaslighting attempt. No wonder you don't have even 1,500 followers. Yeah, because the government only uses 572. Why do I need 15,000 followers? It takes 572 to run 380 million people. See, you got the wrong people around you. That's why you need so many of them. So, Amber, in case you didn't realize, here's my response to that. People at the bar would call this a conversation. In missing brackets would be not spam. A professor might reference this as dialogue. And I'm entertained by life's offerings, which have included you this evening. I am dead fucking serious because this shit is fucking hilarious. Let me know if this is hilarious to you, or if you on AM DM officer, police officer keystrokes. Which one you leaning towards? Officer, are you an officer keystroke or are you a Constellation? Right? So she responds, here we go. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, here when she said it, like, I really don't care. Like, I post people's screenshots because it's bringing awareness to shit, right? So if you got something that you want to post and bring awareness about on me, cool. I would have never even known, never even cared if, well, she sent the screenshots, but it's not that she sent the screenshots, it's that the way she lied about the how. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really proud. Like, people who are ashamed of themselves, people who are ashamed of themselves, who really are fake and hiding behind some veil, some wall, some mask, they really believe that they're exposing you when you are just you. Like, the whole, everybody but you, Officer Amber, already knows this is what Pasha does, right? So I'm laughing on the inside where she sends this part, like, definitely posting these screenshots for the world can see, so others are warned of your erratic psycho behavior, right? Hold on, man. This is the life, like, that y'all don't see, right? When you see the nice video go up and you know, the satellite and everything, like, or the the new logo that you made for the client. Like, this is the part you don't see. That's why I was like, I need to share. It's not like B-roll. Wait till I get the camera crew to just follow everywhere. Like, this is gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So others will be warned of your erratic psycho behavior. Oh, you see, maybe you aren't aware, but LinkedIn isn't meant to be treated like a bar interaction. And you spamming me isn't a conversation. Maybe you weren't aware of that either. Like, now I'm having a ball, right? Like, this is so good. What the fuck? Hold on. And I said, well, the etymology of the word respect is relate. Just say you can't relate, people. Like all that gaslighting shit and all that you and never me, like that, just shut the fuck up and say you can't relate. If you can't relate, just say you can't relate, because then you give people an opportunity to conversate, right? Exchange of thoughts, and you might find out that you're more similar than not. But what happens is people have, hold on, let me get big on the screen. We can break from this one. Right? This is what happens. People don't know what to do with their feelings. They were never trained. That's why you hear me say I'm not emotional. It's not that I don't have emotions. It's that emotions are not triggers. Emotions are signals. And when you don't know what to do with signals, when you can't interpret a signal, process it, see, that would be a response. A trigger causes you to react. Right? And that's the problem with this here. Is that she wanted to have she was in search of the best way she felt she could spend her Saturday evening, right? An opportunity to connect with the top 1% promoter on Facebook marketing. You're in the DM speaking with the author of the novel Codex, white paper ? One Nation under design. And you think you're not being reverse engineered in the conversation? You didn't think to maybe have one question of value to have positive impact on the community? But because I've been really serious for like weeks at a time, I really was enjoying this as like a theatrical entertainment moment at this point. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I continued to engage because it was fun. The whole thing lasted a few minutes, right? And here we go. Let's keep it going, right? Because I want you to see what happened. Like, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Because this is somebody's coach somewhere. Like, think about I forget exactly what she is, man. But hold on. Matter of fact, okay, we'll worry about it later if it's there. But it's like coach or something. Like think about, is this what your business coach is doing behind the scenes? Hold on, Grace. We're gonna get there. So look, but that's what it is. They have an emotional attachment to their belief in what they define as disrespect, because they don't know what the word respect only means relate. If you can't relate to it, then that is the definition of disrespect. So here we go. Top 2% in the nation is not a claim of being smart. It's a claim of saying, I've already learned enough about myself to know that 98% of the population is going to feel disrespected by everything I say and do. I'm not fighting that in life. It's clear. It's documented. I'm in the top 2%. 98% of people are going to be disrespected, not from the emotional bullshit that you believe the word disrespect mean, but from the true definition of they can't fucking relate without extra energy and effort that I can't trust them to value and spending on me. So if I'm interested in anybody and everybody, I've already made it up that I'm going to do 100% of the investigation, because the other problem is, the other opportunity is most people don't even know themselves. They haven't, they tell you they want to learn all this shit. They don't even learn who they are yet. They don't know who they are themselves yet. I can't even trust them to tell me about them. I gotta do an experiment. I gotta conduct character analysis, because you don't even know, most of them don't even know themselves. How you gonna tell me about some shit you don't know? So I'm not worried about acceptance. I'm worried about being true. And I've already studied myself enough to know that 98% of the people are gonna they're gonna feel disrespected. Somewhere along the lines of them not knowing English, but they're speaking English, they're gonna tell you that you said something that you didn't say, because they don't know what the fucking words mean. And then because they don't know what the words mean and they're supposed to use words, they're gonna feel some type of way. And then because you don't speak feeling, they're gonna feel like you're not listening to, like, 98%. So I gotta put in the extra effort to see what makes them tick, how they talk, get them to say things in their own words, because I only said it 12 times already. Like this chick here, I told her bye 15 times. All right. So the etymology of the word respect is relate. Just say you can't relate instead of feeling disrespected. That just help. See, this is why I value talking to everybody, no matter what they doing, because that statement alone just cured 12 people's abusive households in 4 years from now. So she responds, "So glad." I'm being theatrical. This is not the tone. I'm not implying this is how she sounded. So glad I'm able to enlighten you. No, you saying insults to me is disrespectful. And also, you contacting me after I've told you also isn't similar to a conversation. So, and don't beat her down because of, or let's not use beat her and down in the same sentence. Don't give her a hard time about the wording, because we all been texting and typing and some shit. Look, even in the moment of destroying someone who lied to destroy me, I'm still being honest about it, right? So we know that the text and stuff is like, it be doing shit. So we don't know if this is what she meant or not, but this is just what came through the signal, right? And also, you contacting me after I told you also isn't similar to a conversation. So clearly you don't know what LinkedIn is intended for, how to be respectful, to leave people alone when they don't respond, and to leave people alone when they don't ask you. Of course, I'm in marketing and branding. Of course, we don't leave people alone when they ask you to. I'm in marketing and branding. Of course, we don't leave people alone when they don't respond. That would not be marketing. And of course, we don't know how to be respectful, because ads just come on when you didn't ask them. You know what I mean? Marketing and branding isn't something people wake up and say, let me sign up for that today. Even on the Super Bowl, right? They're really just dealing with it. Okay, so oh, too far. All right. So I said, look, the world already knows how I behave. Everyone's choosing sides. This is the stars and stripes. There's the constellation and there's the ground. And I tell her, you're actually are very entertaining. Enjoy. Number five. How the number five thing you don't know is how to interact with people without insulting them. You can't make this stuff up, people. Like when we on these platforms trying to network, like these are the people. These are the people on the other end. Nah, not everybody's like this, but let me know if you had something like this. But wait, the crazy part is coming up. We're almost there. So, how to interact with people without insulting them when your poor feelings are your poor little feelings are hurt because they simply don't want what you are trying to sell them. So, I'm incredibly grateful to have provided you this learning lesson. By the way, your pitch comes across as an old man that is desperately grasping to understand social media and keep up with the times and comes across as though they are younger than they are. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is that how that comes across? Because I'm a millennial. I don't know. I grew up on text message. I had the first two-way pagers. I was 16 with a pager that would I could type the message with a pager that would type the message in, and the computer would call your house and say, "Hello, Amber, you have a message from Byron. Byron said to come outside." Like that's what my pager was doing when I was 16 in the mid 90s. See, because we started hustling when we was 14. So I was into technology. Right? What were they called? The SkyTel. I had a SkyTel pager when they first came out. Not the big ones that the athletes had, the civilian ones. But I was only 16. I didn't even have my license yet. Right? We were playing when everybody else had Sega and was playing Mortal Kombat on the Sega. Like I had it on the PC, and I would tell my mans to come over, and we'd be banging. It'd be like finish him, and it'd be like on the keyboard like dun, 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 fatality. Like we weren't on controllers. We was tapping buttons on my keyboard on my computer playing Mortal Kombat. It's like the only thing my parents ever got me that was significant. Okay? Like, I'm not trying to sell you nothing. It's about freedom. So, let me know if that's how you feel. I mean, I just not gonna change me, but interested to see how you feel. So here's the thing: the bar reference aided your limited interpretation of such actions beyond the word spam. It was a low-key education attempt. Mm-mm-mm. And then she responds, "It's incredibly long-winded and unnecessary." It's incredibly long-winded and unnecessary and causes people to lose interest. Trim it down. They're your professional expertise for free. Who's not listening? I'm purposely unprofessional. Because see, professional didn't Boston Tea Party. Professional didn't Revolutionary War. Professional didn't civil rights movement. Professional didn't Apple iPhone. So my response to that was, hey, look, I'm learning how you network. Every one person represents at least 60,000 people to big business. Her response is literally, LOL, no, you were trying to pitch your services, aka solicitations, which when done online in a poor attempt that has also been ignored as well as declined, then yes, that is the definition of spam. Well, once you started responding to the responses, to the responses, to the responding, to the responding, to the responses, to the responses, that's not spam. That's a conversation, Amber. Who hurt you? Who hurt you that everybody that says anything to you now is a spammer? Hello, Amber. How you doing? Oh my God, stop spamming me. Like, do you go to work like that? I don't know what you do, but do you go into your wherever you go and somebody says hi, you be like, stop it, that's spam. Do you do that? Right? Do you come in with do you come in with Starbucks and somebody says, oh, you went to Starbucks today? Like, spam. What are you doing for lunch? Spam. Did not request that question. That's spam. Is that how do your friends text you at all? Or do you hit them back like, I really didn't ask you to invite me anywhere. Like, these are those people. I wonder, man. So, all right. And so I'm like, well, cool. At this point right here at 9:52, I'm like, so why haven't you left me alone? Right? This is when you start gaslighting the gaslighter, right? You know what I mean? Like, they just spent the last 10 minutes gaslighting the hell out of you. Now let's, well, why haven't you left me alone? And she replies, then by your definition, I should be the one pitching you. I said, oh, you are reverse spamming me now. That is innovation. That is truly innovation, right? Now, here's where it gets interesting. This is where it goes off the cliff. Because I go, oh, you are reverse spamming me. And somewhere between there at 9:52 and 9:53, it must have hit her. Everything that just went over must have rushed into her cerebral cortex, and she overloaded. All circuits was just blown, like all fuses gone, right? She goes, oh, wow. So I tell you to leave me alone after you hurled 2 insults. Now there's 2. I didn't know. She was counting, and which ones were they? But anyway, oh, wow. You tell me to leave you alone after you hurl 2 insults to me, and you don't know you're asking why I'm responding. LOL. And I said, you're a counter spammer. You are a counter spammer, right? Someone sends you an inbox and you use that inbox to then spam the person and then tell them you're spamming them because their message was spam to you. You have invented a totally new LinkedIn existence agent, KeyStrokes. You are officially a new category of online person now known as the counter spammer, the one that you send a message to and they use your own message as the bait to then spam you. And it would be okay if it was value added. But right now, this is all just entertainment. I give so much value. They, accept a little bit of the entertainment moment, because this is like what I be going through in the background. And like I said, to me, this is funny. This is hilarious. But this is the stuff you don't see. Like, you know what I mean? When you get the crisp, polished, fresh everything at the end, you don't realize that we're going through conversations like this just like you, right? We're wondering how do we get here? And if you're not mentally okay with yourself, it'll fuck you up. But if you're true, then you're just like, this is total entertainment. This is better than TiVo or whatever it's called, right? Tubi. So I say, you counter spammer, right? And then look at this shit right here. Now look, when I say this video clip, right? It took me 2 minutes and 41 seconds, as you can see there, to simply scroll all the way through the whole conversations for the video. The video clip is 2 minutes and 41 seconds long, y'all. And we're officially at the 33-second mark in the entire video. Everything we covered, if we played the video straight out, would be the first 33 seconds. There's 2 minutes and 9, 8, 7. There's 2 minutes and 8 seconds of just this. Look at this shit. I'm dying. I'm alive. I'm alive. Look. Hold on. Right. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, yo, this is hilarious. Look at this shit, right? So that was like real time, right? Fast forward even, because it was like bing, but see what she didn't realize. I thought about it later on. I was like, oh, she must think the ding 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 from the messages. Maybe she thinks the ding 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 from the messages is annoying me or something. But I had my headphones, so I'm listening to music. Like I didn't even hear the dings, right? But then I thought about it, I said, oh, why would she be doing that? Like, what is her intention? But anyway, look, right. So going back to the word professional that she mentioned earlier, that I'm clearly not professional, right? And I said, because I didn't take the vow to enter the religious order of being professional. So then I post this in the middle of her short circuit, right? I said, well, by your actions, you being professional, do you see now why I'm not? Like, this is what professional people do. Is this what professional people do, y'all? Because I'm clearly on the record for not being professional. I just didn't realize what I just, avoided becoming in life until today. I've never been professional. Is this what professional people do? I didn't know. Let me know. Hold on. Let me know. All right. Hold on. Watch this though. We almost done. So she goes, hey, just treating you the way you treated me. And you know what? I'm actually accepting all this for value, because I'm like, okay, so in my mind, I'm like, which I say later on, I say, well, I was communicating meaning, like potential value, if nothing else. Even if you didn't like it, want it, whatever, it was meaningful and it had potential value. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck these characters mean. Like, maybe I'm in my soul like ... dash. Maybe she's sending me some code here. I don't know. Is this code? Like, what is it? But at the same time, though, I'm accepting for value her perspective. Don't get it wrong. I'm laughing. I'm enjoying myself at the moment. Then I'm enjoying myself sharing this with you now. But I'm still learning, right? So I'm saying, okay. At this point, I'm really saying, I'm not saying that she's mentally challenged, but I'm saying she could be sharing I accept that as truth. I sent her something that she couldn't relate to. right? She couldn't relate to it. It was disrespectful by definition, not emotion. So to her, it absolutely looked just like all these characters she's sending me. And I blame that on the education system, right? I'm blaming that on the business coaching network. I'm blaming that on everybody but Amber Smith. Everybody in her network, everybody that says they know her, everybody in a photo with her, this is all their fault. Because they let her walk out the door after that moment and didn't tell her to be more unprofessional, if this is what professional people do, or to consider being more unprofessional, if this is what professional people do, if this is how professional people communicate. Right? So she goes, just treating you the way you treated me, maybe you'll see why it isn't great and won't subject others to it from here on out. I don't know who, I applaud you for that statement, right? I might have asked you a question instead of telling you, because I put in decades of research and experimentation, apparently, to know exactly what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know if you know what you're doing at this point, because it's just a bunch of letters. And then she puts more letters and kisses, and then says, really annoying being spam, right? Especially after someone asks you to stop, right? And I responded to that as I translated meaning, you failed, right? Because there's no meaning to this, right? It's emotions. I don't know the fuck emotion. I don't know what emotion this is. What is it? Is it confusion? Is it loneliness? Is it boredom? I'm entertained right now because I rarely watch movies, but this was really making one for me. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies unless it's something that's particularly calling me, like with a download. I get the signal that there's some sort of download in this. I need to watch this movie or watch this, like the Black Mirror series. And then I'll watch it. And even then I'm trying to compress it. Can we get all 3 seasons done in a weekend? I watched the Black Mirror shit. That looks like something I need to see. Years ago. Yeah, you like I might be with a chick and they got the Jericho season on DVD. So we watched that. Cause now all of a sudden it's like I get a signal that there's something in there I need to see. But otherwise, I don't watch TV and I don't watch movies. I don't watch none of that shit. So this is very entertaining to me, is what I'm saying. I don't play video games. Every now and then I play a game of chess. So this is so entertaining at this point, right? Just to give you my perspective on it. And I'm studying, I'm learning about people, and this is the world of LinkedIn. And so she says, I translated meaning, you failed. And then she replies to that, super annoying when someone is childish instead of professional, right? And I'm saying, I'm just observing your failure, because everything you're saying to me is not translating to me. Like, I'm not relating to it in that fashion. Like, you feel like you're doing something to me, and I'm really excited about the whole experience. So she said, really awful when someone is disrespectful instead of respectful, right? Ha 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 ha. And I was like, I have popcorn. Look, I literally had snacks. I was literally snacking and watching the movie. because I'm learning about humanity. Because what the fuck, when you're in the top 2%, 98% of the people gonna feel disrespected by everything you say and do. They're just waiting for a moment to cry that they're a victim somehow of something. And today, Amber, Officer Keystrokes, was the victim of pixels, of characters that form words and might have meant there might have been some communication. And she replies to the I have popcorn as I mean, I'm reciprocating your treatment and you clearly dislike it. So I consider that a huge win, definitely not a failure, loving it. Now, first of all, if I just told you I have popcorn, like, what makes you think I am this clearly disliking it? Like, I almost would have I almost would have paid a cover for this because you can't get this. You can't script this. Steven Spielberg would have never thought of Amber Smith. The next Matrix is gonna be the next Matrix movie. Like, I don't know what number they on now. Matrix 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Count blast off SpaceX. But the next one is gonna be like the Matrix LinkedIn edition. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like LinkedIn. Like, and then Amber Smith is gonna be like, got the keyboard. Like, did you just attempt to communicate? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is spam, right? So watch this. So then she goes loving it, and I just couldn't help myself. I said I can't relate, but I had to reply with this. The etymology of the word love is not a verb, it's a noun, which the whole world gets wrong. But Proto-Germanic lubo, meaning a different grade, which clearly you have identified. We are love. We are definitely a different grade, Officer Keystrokes. We are not the same grade. We are not the same frequency. And that's not to say, you know, that there's anything wrong with you, Amber, because there are people out there who have spent their whole entire lives with you, and y'all both communicate like this, don't y'all? Y'all both send letters back and forth to each other, and I'm the outcast of society. I've always been the outcast of society. It's okay. You know, my own family tried to throw me in the mental hospital, so I totally get it. I totally. So she says VJDH, whatever that is. Let me know in the comments below. Let's see who can come up with the best meaning for VJDH, right? And your lack of diverse vocabulary is concerning. Yeah, because I have to admit that it did diversify beyond my potential when we went to single letters, 27 rows of that. I'm not that diverse in my vocabulary. I'm not. I'm limited to English. I speak a little poquito Espanol. I need to learn some French, and a couple words in German, vigets. You know what I'm saying? Like shinshin in Japan. I know very few words, not those that Amber was using. I don't know what the letters mean. I'm not that advanced. And she says, there are synonyms for etymology, right? But like I said, this is really showing me a lot about Amber. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that just to I'm saying, like, I would have been studying her character and her responses and her actions regardless of what the feedback loop was. But this was next level different. Like, I get this, right? I get it. Like I said, I know who I am. I'm not, I think. So I thought that someone built a $5 billion Facebook valuation was 5 billion when they sold them. So I'm referencing that, not necessarily LinkedIn, but you get my drift. I thought that someone built a $5 billion platform of technology and fancy ways for us to communicate. So I attempted to communicate on it. I don't know what I was thinking, right? So I said all of those keystrokes, because in her bio, the little section line on her bio, it's like im- impact, something about bringing impact to the community, right? And all this stuff. So I was like, well, all those keystrokes, you sure know how to impact the community. I mean, it's true. So I'm learning what she meant when she said impact the community. And then she says, just helping the community by dealing with a weak, fragile man. Yes, yes, yes. Because she projects herself on the inside. On the inside, she's a weak, fragile man. That's why she sees that in everybody and everything around her. And, but here we go. So more keystrokes. And then her other comment is keeping humankind humane. So I was like, at this point, keeping humankind humane must not apply to you in the mission statement, Amber. You won already. You already won. You won when you responded, and you don't even know. Like when you first said not interested, like we were done. I gave you my response, and we could have parted ways, but you couldn't let it go. Right? I don't know if she liked my beard or she just hated me that much in her inbox, because I don't. This is like the borderline between what is this? Is this playful? Is this professional? Is this creepy? I don't know. Like you see why my disassessment score under social was withdrawn. Like no, I'm not this. If this is professional, I am not professional. Like you know what I'm saying. Absolutely not. I'll just let the rest of this play through so you can see. At this point, I was like, here, take this song, chick. Like, play this song. Play the music. You can pause it if you want to and check out. There's not much being said here. Oh. Here. So at this point, right? Hold on. How do I... Hold on. I'll read this to you. Matter of fact, do I still have it? Hold on. Let me get it real quick. Let me get it. Because it'll take longer to get the picture on the screen. I can just pull it up on the internet real quick. So I did an energy. I got like if you know anything about the Kabbalarian, right? Kabbalah. I ran a name through Kabbalah, right? And it says on the second bullet point of what the frequency of the name, not like what it meant and where it came from, that sort of stuff, but the actual energetic frequencies embedded into the name. And keep in mind, to know one's full self under this account of practice, you would need the first name, middle name, last name, nickname, sun sign, moon sign. It's like a whole equation that gets formed. So this is just based off just the first name, which if you ever do this, it doesn't mean that this is completely who you are. There's other components of the equation, in other words. But what was very, very funny was the number 2 says expression for Amber, right? The name Amber, the number 2 bullet point says expression, which I highlighted there on the screen for you. Let me make sure you guys are seeing that. Yeah, it's over there. Okay, cool. So it says expression comes naturally to you, and you are rarely at a loss for words. In fact, you have to put forth effort at times to curve an overactive tongue. And this is, blow your screen up later. This is in the frequency embedment of the name Amber. Like you can't script this shit. You can't make it up. But what was interesting to me about that, the reason I highlighted it was because I don't know which way to take that. I don't know if all the little character messages are her having the overactive tongue that needs effort and curving, or at the same time, is it a conflict of Amber's vibration and she's short circuiting because she's rarely at a loss for words? Did she really maybe get to a point where it was just like, I'm at a like short circuit, like at a loss? But it was just so ironic that it was embedded in the name Amber. And I was just like, oh, I get it. Like, I really study people because I need to know who you are, because you're not going to tell me. Right? So look at this shit. So I was literally sitting up here. I laughed so hard for what felt like so long. And I don't even be laughing like that, like, cause shit ain't funny to me like that. But this shit was fucking funny, yo. And I got to the point here where I was like, yo, confirmed. Cause remember, I was inquiring about the connection earlier, right? So confirmed, our connection is repulsive, right? Cause I didn't feel that way about you, but you're expressing this. So it's confirmed. Our connection is repulsive. You begin to misfire in my orbit. It's electric, right? And then she continues. I'm like, she's short circuiting. Like, I'm having a ball because this is a whole. If you ain't got it by now, this is a whole movie to me by this point. I'm like, oh shit, she's short circuiting. Like, somebody put her out, right? She might be on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she goes, bah, you don't even have 1,000 Instagram followers. Yeah, because everybody knows I delete everybody like once they get to a certain number, because Dunbar's number, in case you don't know, is that it may have been called something else before that, who knows, but I caught it when it was called Dunbar's number. Says the average person can only really maintain about 150 relationships. So I normally keep mine under 100. I don't want to be the guy that says I got 4,000 followers on Facebook and then you post a comment and you get 2 engagements. I don't want to be the person on LinkedIn who's got 30,000 people saying they follow them and then they post something and it gets 2 people's response, because something's not right there. And that's why that's why I do this. Because the moment you say we're not connected, excuse me, that's a disorder to me, because my first level of confusion is, why did you click connect if you felt like we weren't either connected on something you've seen on my feed in the past, or be willing to explore what we could connect on? Because the word connect means we're joined together on something. So either we are, or we need to discover what it is, or you need to stop fronting about being connected with Pasha. Right? Ain't that how you feel? Ain't that how you feel? Like, I knew the world was fucked up. I'm gonna tell you when I knew the world was fucked up and we had to do something quick. Right? Cause I'm true everywhere. So I'll be on my phone sometime, right? And if I got, I don't know how many 100 people are in my phone, but they all know that everybody on my phone know what Amber, they would find this, right? Because I'm gonna send you a text message, most likely, if you're in my phone. Right? And if you say you don't want the text message, then you don't need to be in my phone. So that's what I'm looking for. Like, who's really connected and who's just not. Let's get the numbers right. So I said I shall return to the Constellation because this ground shit got you short circuited. She's grounded. She's just short circuited. And this is where I'm like, yo, you saw I hit her with the input from Short Circuit. For those who know the movie, I'm having a ball, but it's starting to get a little old. And I said, honestly, this was the most fun all week. Next time, you should use more vowels, right? And she said, don't worry, love. That Insta post, see, here's where it was, right? Don't worry, love. That Insta post was to help boost your following. All for you, little buttercup. And I'm like, that Insta post. I don't follow you on Instagram. And see, that's another thing, right? Another thing that people will let you know about Pasha. Because like I said, on one hand, I'm cool with, hey, you want to take our what she said, I got the screen, it's gonna wind up on Instagram. Cool. Cause make your point. You know what I mean? Have your followers support you. You know what I mean? That's what they're there for. Your followers are all craving apparently the same crazed, deranged, you know what I mean? Shit as you are, right? So if that's what makes y'all happy, if that brings you joy, cool, because every moment that's not a true connection immediately converts into a teaching point for somebody somewhere. So I was cool with it, right? But here, that's how she slid it in, right? She slid it in like, and that Insta post was to, what she said, help boost your following. I don't want to boost following. I could do that. I do marketing and branding. I'm looking for some very precise individuals, a very certain particular calibration of mentality and discipline. Some would call that a mindset. I don't want a mass following. I want the critical mass. I've had mass followings before that weren't the right people. It's wasted energy. So I said, like everybody that knows me already know, always a perfect day. You know what I mean? Cool. I appreciate it. This was fun. And this is who your leader is. People who's following her. Right? This is how your leader spends their Saturday night. We could have, my sound bites going up in Sweden, right? We could have done some national GDP conversations, talked about how to bring some fiat currency across the Atlantic or stir it in the pot of your local community or something, anything like that. But instead, this is what your leadership invests in. This is how they network. This is networking to them. This is where they put their energy. This is why they can't relate to Pasha Paro, because he has goals and standards for the people, and this is what they, this what professional people do. Because I know I'm not professional, so I never thought about what they actually do behind the scenes. Like, so did I get these two pictures from her, right? I guess because when you fake as shit, you probably fear exposure, but you haven't told me or shared anything that anybody that knows me or is in my phone, not the phone, they got the song. Everybody on the phone got the song. Not everybody, about half the people. That's only because I got tired. Oh, which reminds me, because it'd be a lot. I can't sit everybody at the same time. I don't use no auto spammer. It be me. People be like, stop. I be like, you thought you was talking to a computer, dummy? Like, it's me. Somebody told you, dumbass, not to respond. It's me. It's Pasha on the other end of the phone. Pasha ain't got no AI sending shit for him. It's me. Stop. But okay, since you feel that way, I'm gonna delete your ass. You know you're not talking to a computer because you're so used to you projecting. But one day I was sending text messages like, and my phone said this, right? My phone said this is what I knew the world was done, and we had to do something quick. My cell phone said, your phone is sending a lot of messages. Do you wish to continue? I know, you dumb shit. That's why I pushed the send button. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, people got so soft that now the cell phone companies that you pay for text message service, you got unlimited text messages, and it's gonna ask you, do you feel like you sending too many? Like, no, bitch, shut up. Damn it, it's a lot of people with this phone. I need them all to get this shit. What you need to do is put the feature on there that lets me just auto send to all of them with one click. Like, that's what y'all need to do. Don't ask if you feel like I'm sending too many messages through your cell tower. I'm hitting the button too many times. Then put the one button on there that sends it to all of them. I'm not talking group chat. You know what I'm saying? Ask me, damn it, that's why I paid the bill for it, so I can send this motherfucking message. Shut the fuck up. What's wrong with the world? They're gonna ask you, did the bill get paid? Did I meant to send this motherfucking message? Like, no, you slowing me up right now, man. What's wrong with y'all? All right. So hold on, we almost done, y'all. This almost done. It's 8 seconds left, 9 seconds. So yeah, so she sent me the screenshots of this shit, right? And I'm like, oh, that's I'd have been cool if she just kept it real. Like, I ain't got nothing to hide. Everybody know who Pasha is, what Pasha do, how he do it. Like, but you tried to chop a message from February, chick, when we first met, and then put it with what I sent today, talking about this is what I did to Pasha. No. I mean, it's not even about that. It's just about, this is what fucks shit up. The little DM patrol police using words that they don't know the meaning of, having feelings off the words that they don't know the meaning of, creates feelings that they don't know what the fuck they feeling, because they don't even know how they got to that feeling. It's all they fucking own projection issue. And these are the people you're trying to network with in some cases. So everybody isn't for you. And that's okay. There was nothing wrong with Amber. There's still nothing wrong with Amber. All right? She wanted attention, and she got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was all cool. I'd have had fun with this. I'd have went on my night. I'd have laughed this shit off and been cool with it. Don't go try to put me on blast to make yourself look better or something, or now you playing victim or saying I've done something to you. No, you took a message from February, chopped it in half, and put it with the post from today that everybody else got. Everybody else got the same message, the same time almost you did, because I sent them all manually. So everybody's gonna see this post and they're gonna be like, that's the same one I got. He sent that today. Why did the other one say February? And you up here, I told him that because of he and his feelings. No. Who you need to impress? I don't need to impress nobody. Okay? I'm not here to impress the 98%. I'm looking for the other 2%, like me, so that we can Build America. Because the United States leadership, well, you just seen what they're doing with their time. And then, right? And then, right? After they do that, because what I did is, I'll tell you what I did. That was funny. I was like, oh, okay. It's, she don't know. It's like, this is fun for me. So, you want to share screenshots and stuff? That's cool, because let me just sing you this so you can go ahead and play it back for yourself, because here's the whole video I just showed you. I don't have any reason to hide anything. Okay. So you want to take a couple screenshots, manipulate the data, put this on there, make yourself look like whatever, and then block me? Well, I sent this before she blocked me. But this is why she blocked me. Because if you've ever been blocked before, if they block you before. And I'm just, because I won 3 of my own court cases. So before you go dispute evidential claims, here's how you know. If they block you, you can't send a message to them. So the only reason this is on screen is because I sent this to her like, oh, that's how you feel? Here, enjoy this full video clip. Because I'm not the type that's going to go do this behind your back. And I wouldn't even be doing this but I see what you just did on your Instagram, which I'm not even following you on. I don't even know who you are. And you want to tag me in your Instagram post claiming what you did? Okay. Does it match the reality? And if not, everybody following you should have questions. One, what the fuck are you doing with your free time? Because this is not a quality, coaching experience. But and beyond that, it's just like, if I was following you, like I had it almost reminded me of that Chris Do shit where he was like coming to my page and taking notes and then go have a speech and then came back and said he didn't, but then that video's on here too somewhere, you can catch that. So just keep it 100, right? Just be true about it. So I sent the video, and then shortly after that, she blocked me. I don't know what that was the success of. Did she realize, oh shit, or did she just say she might not even watch it? She might have just took it and said, "Oh, he sent me something else," and then I'm gonna block him so he can't, because I done posted this shit about him. I'm going, right? So yeah, I'm gonna have to put this on my Instagram now, I guess. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, I'd have this is just the stuff that goes on in the background. And if you've experienced anything like this, share in the comments with us below. Share the group. Maybe you got a video or a post. Let's just you know what? Everybody that's got a post about them like this, put the link to it in the comments below. Let's just, look at what we're up against here from the mindset of the adversary, right? What is their mentality? Let's just do a case study on it in general. We need more data. We need more input to understand the mindset of this disorder, where receiving a message from someone that you don't know becomes spam. We need to study that, because I think all of those people, if we got all of those people off of social media, I think we could be productive. I really do. I think a lot more people would be happy or find joy and engage. There would be less gatekeepers trying to block you from posting in groups because your post was better than theirs. Like, all that stuff would go away if we got rid of all of that bullshit. I think social media would be a lot funner for people again. But Let me know what you think in the comments below. I had an amazing last 48 hours, very productive. Check out the new song. It's everywhere. YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and let me see how many. Let me see. 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 It is okay. We just hit the 48-hour mark, and it's got 407 views. So it's doing good. You know what I mean? It's doing good. But yeah, I just took a satellite transatlantic. My sound bites going up in Sweden. You know what I mean? So meanwhile, she's in my inbox putting characters in like little baby hieroglyphics. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm Pasha Pyro, Constellation. I'm the signal. Keep shining, because God said